Americans across the U.S. are scrambling to find ways to stay cool as temperatures surge. Some of the cheapest and most innovative ideas to fight the heat come from the U.S. Army. National environmental correspondent David Schechter shows us how these simple techniques can literally save lives.
Oh man, let's go!
When a soldier gets heat stroke in the hot Georgia sun, it can take them out of service for weeks.
Yes, sir, Sergeant!
And that's a problem for the Army.
On my command, you will fully immerse your arms up to your elbows.
So one way they avoid heat illness is with an ice-cold arm bath.
11, 10, 29.
Arms up, arms up.
Wakes you right back up and sends a little cool spurt to your system.
We have to be prepared to fight and win anywhere. That includes hot environments.
Lieutenant Colonel Dave DeGroot is a scientist who studies how heat impacts the body, and he runs the Army Heat Center at Fort Moore. He says the Army has 1,000 arm immersion tables in use across the country.
It's low tech, it's inexpensive, it's easy to implement. It's a bucket of water.
It's pretty low tech.
It is.
Ooh. I'm the only one that made a noise the whole afternoon. How is this working? What is this doing right now?
But blood is still flowing through our forearms, and that blood is getting cooled and then coming back to our core, so it's just it's a loop.
Research shows arm immersion cooling helps prevent heat illness, and depending on how long it lasts, immersion can lower core body temperature by as much as 1 degree Fahrenheit. And since normal body temperature only ranges between about 97 and 100 degrees, 1 degree of internal cooling makes a difference.
Feels like it's working.
Yeah, we're getting a little chilly, aren't we?
I am cold right now. It's starting to get a little bit numb.
It's doing its job.
I might not be cut out for the Army. I don't know.
Let me get some help.
Sometimes prevention isn't enough when heat becomes an emergency. This is a drill for an intervention called ice sheeting, developed at Fort Moore using a cooler, ice water, and bed sheets. The idea is to rapidly cool a severe heat victim on site before transporting them to the hospital.
The intent is we want to cover as much surface area on the body as possible.
Fresh, cold ice sheets get swapped in every 3 minutes until an ambulance arrives.
Have you ever had to actually do that to a patient?
Yes,
How many times have you done that?
probably more than 10.
And ice sheeting is effective. In 2019, before ice sheeting at Fort Moore, there were 95 cases of heat stroke. In 2022, after ice sheeting began, it was down to 35 cases. Solutions to keep the Army moving that are cheap, fast, effective, and on a hotter planet, more urgently needed than ever.
As the climate changes and gets warmer, how do these things become more important?
As it's getting warmer out, it's going to be harder and harder for people like Drill Sergeant Meza and all of our instructors out here. It's going to get more challenging.
David Schechter, CBS News, Fort Moore, Georgia.